Hello everyone, and welcome back to the series of videos where we learn about the ins and outs of Python. Today, we're going to look at for loops and while loops. A for loop is a statement that runs the code a certain number of times. Let's learn by example. Type the following code. This code looks complicated, but it's not really. Let's break it down. We can think of x as our counter variable that starts at 0. So each time that the value of x is less than 5, or it's in the range of 5, we print the following. So when x is equal to 0, it prints 0, I love Python. It then goes up by 1. When x is equal to 1, it's still in the range of 5, so it'll print 1, I love Python, and so on. So remember, this prints 5 times. When x is 0, when x is 1, when x is 2, and when x is 4. Python starts counting at 0, so make sure you take that into account with your code. Next, let's look at while loops. While loops are very similar to for loops. This is a little bit different from the for loop already. The for loop automatically starts our variable at 0, but the while loop doesn't do that. So let's make sure we put a condition where x starts at 0. So let's break down this code. Firstly, we're assigning x to 0. So while x, whatever's in the variable x, is less than or equal to 3, we're going to print the following. So we're going to print I love Python, and then we're going to increase our counter variable by 1. In the for loops, notice that x will go up by 1 each time automatically, but here we actually have to make it do it. So let's run the code and see what happens. So this code prints I love Python 4 times. But why 4 times? Let's trace back. So we're starting with x is equal to 0. So this will print once for when x is equal to 0. So that's our first I love Python. X increases by 1, so now we have 1 is less than or equal to 3. That condition's met, prints I love Python. Same thing for 2, and same thing for 3. So remember, Python starts counting at 0. So the sentence prints when x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to 3. Thus, we get I love Python 4 times. Remember, for loops and while loops are when we want to run a code a certain number of times. For loop, when we know the number of iterations we need, and while loops, well, we don't. Thanks for tuning in. Happy coding!